The biggest one for me is be who you are where you are. So the one of the biggest things that I struggled with, I say probably all of the 20s, was I was always thinking about the future, which is not a bad thing. It is awesome to think about the future, plan towards your future, start going in a certain direction. But what I did was I focused so hard on where I wanted to go that I actually missed a lot of other things that were all around me. So I think one of the things, if I had any advice for someone that's going through the similar thing, and this really actually goes 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, this can go all the way. Be who you are where you are. So if you're in a certain situation, if you're out with friends, be there with those friends. You can think about your potential business or your school later. Just be there. Be there where you're at. If you're hanging out with family, be there with your family, not thinking about, oh, I need to do this or I need to do that. And a lot of that comes down to procrastination. If you're procrastinating a lot, which we all struggle with, then all that stuff lingers in your mind for all day because you're not utilizing your time as well as it could. And then you're just thinking about it all the time. So it's very important. Life is fun. Life is not all about just working your ass off and achieving or whatever, success, money. It's not really about that. It's about having a good time where you're at. And then afterwards, you can get some of those things if you would like to, but be where you're at, be conscious of what you're doing. And that way you can feel the full effects of life, not just what's my future going to be like.
Imagine too that we're spreading ourselves too thin.
Yeah.
You got to keep your circle tight and spread love to all those around you. But it really is not spreading yourself too thin, being present in those moments that you're called to be, with family, friends, close ones. You got to be accountable on being in those present moments, because I've always tried to keep in mind that you never know when it's the last time you're going to see someone.
Yeah.
And, whether it's a goodbye or whatever that is, you never want that to be something you look back on and regret. So when it comes to those moments, and we're all human, we're going to be distracted with the love life or business or whatever that is, distracting us, fantasy football for all that matter.
Yeah.
And it's tough with the world of distractions like we've talked about. But yeah, being present, even in your 20s, when it's like you got a bucking bronco in your soul at that age. You got so much energy and piss and vinegar to get out there and do the things, but it's so hard to control that.
Yep.
And it's not till you get knocked off that sucker that you're going to realize who you are, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But it's just all about enjoying it. Enjoy it. But it's so tough nowadays with, you scroll through that social media, and let's say a person that you kind of know, hell, he's in Hawaii having a great time, and you're sitting in the library studying, or you're working, you're delivering pizzas, whatever you're doing. You get down and you're like, oh, I got to work harder. I got to get to this place. But really it's all about working on yourself. And like the episode that we talked about before, not comparing yourself to others, being happy for that person and working towards getting there, but you're okay because you're not there yet, but you'll get there. No big deal.
Really, if you talk to anybody that has gone through their 20s and you ask them about their 20s, they'll tell you there was some life-changing moments.
Some really good times.
Yeah, great times and not so good times. But then when you look back, even if I look back 10 years ago at being 24 years old, those problems compared to life today, it's a different level. It's a different beast.
Yep.
You're going to grow. And so all those lessons you learned, and really in life, from 0 to 18, you're an adolescent, you get 18 into the 25, and that is you take those 18 years that you were raised with those values and everything, and then you kind of go out and fight for yourself. And then at about 25, it's time to figure it out.
Yeah.
Regardless of that, you don't have to have everything figured out, but you need to be kind of on the right path at that point.
Yeah.
And it is setting a foundation. But like you said before, enjoying the moments, enjoying life, enjoying those times with your buddies. But you look at all those failures and you go, man, I'm grateful those happened. I learned so much from that experience.
It was the best things that happened to me. The failures were actually the best thing that happened to me. All those different things that truly hated in that moment were actually the things that worked out the best.
Yeah, and it made you tough. It made
Yep.
you it and you don't wanna look at it that it calluses you in a bad way, but it thickens your skin a little bit. And then when you go through those rough times and you fight through those storms, you gain more confidence in yourself that when that next storm comes through, you know how to handle it.
Yep.
And but just be ready because there's gonna be one coming that you have no idea how to prepare for.
Those future episodes, we'll talk about those seasons in life.
Here we go.
We'll talk about some how those seasons go in the ups and downs.